Hey guys, so today I'm back and I am going to strain this jewelweed that I cooked in my crock pot. You remember I put it down in some olive oil and I let it steep and simmer, turning it off at night and then turn it back on the day. So it's done 2 days now, so it ought to have all of those essential oils and good components steeped out of it by now, I hope. So what I'm going to do is I've got my cheesecloth ready, and then I've got this bucket, leftover bucket that I purchased my my coconut oil in, and I am just going to strain it through this cheesecloth. So you have to do this, get it strained in order to make the salve and the soap with. So I'm going to need about a half a cup of this to make some salve, and I'm going to need about 500 grams of this. I'll have to weigh it to make the soap. So, and then I'm going to add this oil in the place of my olive oil for my soap recipe. So that's the main difference. Another thing you can put with jewelweed to help you with skin rashes and stuff is maybe some plantain. I didn't do that. Plantain's another herb that's good, you know, for healing the skin. But I didn't do that. And another thing you could do is you could just take that dried jewelweed that I have and just like chop it up, put it in the grinder and turn it into a powder, and you can actually put that in your soap. It'll add a little bit of abrasion for it, exfoliation for it. But for poison ivy, I think I'm just going to go with this infusion that I've made. So, because I don't really want anything roughing up my skin. So that's why I did it this way. So, another thing about me, I don't really think I've introduced myself. I'm Cindy Rogers. I'm actually a restorative therapist, and I work full-time still, and then I do my herb hobby on the side, and I enjoy doing it. I love to share. I'm just pouring this out, y'all. Share with y'all what I'm doing. I'm going to leave that in there for now. There's still some goodie in that I can squeeze out of there, but not a lot. So if you see it, it made a beautiful green olive oil, like a darker green than it originally was. So that's what I'm going to use. So I'm just going to take this. I'm going to try to move this so you can see what I'm doing, and get this out of the way. And I'm just going to take this and pull this cheesecloth out. It's beautiful. I think I got as much as I can out of there. Now I have this beautiful green olive infusion with jewelweed. So that is what I'm going to use in my soap. I already have my coconut oil measured out here. So I'm just going to add some to my coconut oil. So I'm not really going to share the exact recipe because it's not what I'm trying to do with you today. I will do that at another time. But I am just going to add that to my coconut oil, and then I will process my soap from there. So anyway, let's see, get my scales, zero it out so I know how much. It's going to take almost all of this. I want to leave enough for my salve. So I've got a piece of a bucket of olive oil, a couple pieces of a jug of olive oil. Like I said, you got to use every last drop. So close. Perfect. Perfect. So there you are. There's my olive oil and my coconut oil. I've also already mixed up my lye solution. So I'm going to go ahead and pour that in there. So I think I told you I used coconut oil, olive oil, castor oil, and then lye and water, of course. And then I add whatever oils or colorants that I want to use. So I kind of think that's a beautiful color already, that green. So I'm going to leave that color just like it is. I could add some spirulina powder, which is a good antioxidant, but I'm not. I'm just going to do strictly jewelweed. So let me get my gloves and add this lye water to this mixture. It is warm. This lye is warm, but that's okay because my coconut oil is not all the way dissolved. So I'm just going to pour it on in. That's just my lye and my water that I already mixed up. And you have to weigh everything out. Of course, if you make soap, you know that already. There are lots of different soap calculators on the internet. I am not going to be doing that right now. I've already got my recipe ready. So I'm just going to just give this some turns and get that coconut oil dissolved. Once I do that, I'm going to measure out my castor oil. What do y'all think? If I added anything to this, what would it be to help with the skin? Smells good, like it is. I don't know. I think I'll just leave it the way it is. I think I will. Another thing I need to make for the skin is I just make a plain soap, just like this, but I just add oatmeal, organic oatmeal, and I add honey to it. So, you know, that is a beautiful soap as well, and it's really good for people with a lot of allergies. I have a couple of customers or friends, not really customers, that request that I make. I haven't had one say, I want a whole batch. So when you make it, just make me a whole batch. So I try to do that. I love this soap with all vegan oils in it. And every one of these oils is good for your skin. So that's why I make it the way I make it. So anyway, I am just going to melt this coconut oil down, and then I'm going to weigh out my castor oil. And while that is doing that, I will get my castor oil, and I only use a little bit of castor oil, so I'll use a little bit. Get this where you can see what I'm doing here. I've been thinking about buying a new tripod. So I've got my jar. I'm going to zero it out. And like I said, it's only a little bit of castor oil that I use. And I add it after I bring my solution to trace. So once it starts thickening up, that's when I add, that's all I'm going to use, my castor oil. And if I was adding essential oils or colorant, I would add them after I bring them to trace as well. So let's get this melted down. It's almost there now. I got one little leaf in here that I want to get out. There it is. One little leaf. It's probably a seed from that jewelweed. I want to grow some of that jewelweed in my own yard, so not that seed, but I'm going to get me some jewelweed seeds or find someone that actually has the plant. I had to purchase that jewelweed. I found it actually on eBay. That's the only place I could find it. That was already dried and a good quantity. So that's where I found that at. I'll add that link in the comments below if you'd like me to. I don't get anything for adding an eBay link. When I add an Amazon link, I am an Amazon affiliate. So if I add an Amazon link, just know that I do get a small commission. It's not much. But hey, everything counts, right? And when you're trying to do this and do videos and buy product and all that stuff, it, like I said, every little bit counts. So I've got this dissolved. Now I am going to get my blender. I'm not going to put y'all through here in that blender. So I'm going to get my blender. I'm going to blend this up. I'll bring you back when it gets to trace. Okay? Okay, my mixture is at trace. And what I mean by trace, let's see if you can see it, is this mixture is thick, kind of like pudding, and the shapes stay on top of the batch. So that's what I mean. Alright, so we're at trace, and I'm just going to add the castor oil that I weighed out. And then I'm going to blend it some more, and then it is ready to pour in the molds. And I have the molds already. And this is where I would add essential oils or colorant or anything like that. And I'm not doing that today. I'm just doing jewelweed. Alright, so we're going to do a little bit more. Alright, I got the molds ready. Alright, and we're just going to pour. I like to do 5-ounce bars, so I'm going to fill this up, and the rest of it I'm going to put in this other mold, and I'll just have to cut it a little bit different because it won't fill it up. It'll go about halfway. I don't do any fancy decorations on them. Just soap. And it's medicinal, so we don't need a decoration for medicinal soap, do we? I might put a stamp on them when I get done, but that's it. Get all of this goodie out of here. Smooth it out. Alright. That is our jewelweed molds ready. They gotta sit about 4 weeks, so after a couple of days I'll pour them out, and we'll cut them, and then they have to sit for 4 weeks to let all the water evaporate out of them and cure. So anyway, that's the Jewelweed soap. In the next video I will make the Jewelweed salve. Alright, until then, see y'all.